You gonna do it? It looks like you're about to do it. You gonna, Pumpkin, what are you doing? There she is. Hi, Pumpkin. Good morning. Oh, you're so pretty. Hey, what's up, garden friends? Jeff here. So what are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm great. Did I turn the mic on? Is it on? I think it is. I'm checking. This is my microphone. I'm checking the microphone. It's the cord to the microphone. Got some sad looking cyclamen down here. They're fine though. They finished blooming and now they want to rest. They want a little dormancy. I know that this is the case because the soil was slightly moist, but not moist enough where I thought, oh, they've been overwatered. It's just, they're done. They're done. It's time for rest. Relatable, right? I wish. Holidays are over. It was fun. A lot of fun. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and a happy New Year. No, I have not. I haven't even begun to think about putting the decorations away yet. I know I should, but I'm tired. Recovering. Then I usually leave them up for a couple more weeks. I'm not one of those people who puts everything away immediately January 1st because, well, everything's so chaotic and hectic leading up to the holidays. It's kind of nice when things are over to just sit back and relax and enjoy some of the decoration. And I leave some of it up for wintertime periods. So things that are more wintry themed, like I might leave out a couple of snowmen, take down the trees, but you know, might leave up a few of those little, you know what what am I supposed to be talking about? Oh, plans. What's the plan? Big shocker. I don't have one. Well, I do. There's stuff I have to do, but it's stuff I need to do fairly quickly, so I don't know how much I'll be filming of those things. First things first, it's supposed to be getting real cold. Oh, it already is really cold. Really cold. Oh, I don't like this. I changed my mind. I don't want to do anything anymore. Spent, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes trying to get this dang thing out of the hole over here. It's not even really a hole. It's just slightly lower over there than in the front. Ended up having to take a shovel and trench this whole thing out so I could scoot it up. With the Adenidia palm that goes in this spot during the summertime, it's not that big of a deal because I just lay it down outside and pull, and I can lift the dang thing out. But this was just repotted, right? It's like, what, June of what is now last year. And it hasn't fully rooted into that container, so if you pull, there's just soil everywhere. You see all the loose soil that I shoveled up and had to put back in. But I got it out. That's the point. We're supposed to be dropping down into the single digits here pretty soon in a couple days. So there's a little bit of time here. So because of that, I need to move in the rest of the palms, the windmill palm, and then I have two mule palms over here that are not looking very good. I know Mary and Joseph are still out here. I had to put away all the Christmas stuff that was outside, so like Santa and the reindeer and snowmen. I have all kinds of, stuff in the front yard. Had to put that away before this stuff can go in because this stuff goes underneath the access to the attic where these need to be placed. So that's why I'm already over it because I've already been going to get prepped for this, but it's not that big a deal. It's 3 big plants and then all the little stuff. You can see the greenhouse over here. I have lowered it down. That's going to hold in more warmth, right? Because the heat rises. I'll be putting all the shrubbery and things in here with the exception of, I believe there's a bamboo over here, magnolia, pendu palm, and a couple of oleanders. I think I'm going to take those into the garage. The coldest temperature the forecast is showing is 4 degrees. So I'm debating whether or not I should cover up the laurel hedge. I don't think I'm going to because they should be good to 4 degrees. They're wrapped in lights. I need to plug those in and make sure they work. I have mulched around them. It's a light layer of mulch, but it's something. And you can see I still have, I haven't put the mulch down yet on anything else. It's been a very, very, very busy couple of months. The main thing I need to focus on with the mulch is getting it around the ginger clump that's over here. And I suppose the sable miners, although I'm really not worried about the sable miners at this point. I mean, should I be? They've been in the ground for what, 4 years now? 5 years now? Look how big some of these are. I don't know. I have a whole bunch of extra trash barrels, and I was thinking about just tying them together and putting the barrels over them, but standing back, I don't know. I don't think that would even be big enough. I'll do something with them. I'll throw some frost blankets over them, I suppose. If I can find some lights, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. They're in a fairly sheltered spot. I think the mulch is important. But otherwise, I've come to just accept that they're going to lose some foliage during the winter time. It's just the way it is. It gets pretty cold here. Usually only for a couple weeks, but that's all it takes. Needle palms should be fine. I might actually, for the big needle palm clump, which is over here, I take you over there. My neighbors are in their driveway, so we'd be like standing right next to each other while I talk to you guys. You can see their fronds sticking up right there. For those, I'm going to get their bags down and cover those because they're huge, and I would be just devastated if I were to do anything to damage them at this point. I could never replace them at that size. It would cost a fortune if I could even find them for sale at that size. So, is that a lawnmower? Is my neighbor mowing their lawn? It's 30 degrees outside. It actually sounds more like it might be a power washer. They just got a new car and I think they're having fun with it. Still seems a little bit chilly for that, but whatever. I deviated there. My apologies. I don't want anything bad to happen to those. We're St. Louis, where I live, right on the edge for this weather front where they're saying it's either going to be snow or ice, or likely where I live, probably a combination of snow and ice. So need to be protecting things more, right? Because ice is bad. Snow, fine. Ice, bad. Okay, that's enough talking. I'm going to pull the palm trees around to the garage and, I don't know, pick up with something at some point, hopefully. I don't know. There's so much to do in such a short amount of time. I don't know how much this is going to be filming. You guys think I should try a bignonia in the ground here? I just realized my microphone keeps getting muffled by my jacket. Bignonia vine. Cross vine. Another name for it. They look very similar to a trumpet vine, but they flower more heavily. And there's some more color varieties. So this one is one that's kind of a peachy orange color. They're said to not be hardy here, but I've had this in this container for a couple of years, and it's been out here down to like 13 degrees. And it looks okay. Although it gets a lot colder than 13 degrees here. I don't know. I think it might be worth giving a shot. What do you think? It's also one of those plants where they say how hard it is, but I'm always like, does anybody really know? Like, are we really trying with this one? Because it gets mixed up with trumpet vine all the time. All the time I get mixed information where some things will say they're hardy to like zone 4 or 5 because they're being called the wrong plants. Who knows? Actually, I'm sure there's real science out there about it. I don't know. Thought I'd bring it up. That's all. Had to do some pruning, but made them fit. Barely. Barely got them to fit. The mule palms, they've done some growing. Actually, I don't think I can get back there. You can kind of see, look, I'm starting to see some trunk. I knew some of that was there, but there's starting to be more. So these need a reset. They need a repot and everything. So that's why I said, screw it. Almost said something else there. Oops. They just need to be, started over again. Get them into a fresh potting mix and all that stuff. I don't want to do that until the springtime. So I had to cut some of the foliage off the top, not the spear. Never want to cut the spear because it'll, kill the palm tree. Don't want to be killing the palm trees. Woodmill palm barely fits in here. I managed to get it so that the crown, right where the spears are coming out, are like just in the right position so they're being pushed too much for when I have to open this garage door. Because I had to get those in first and then get all these others in here next. The recurvifolias are looking really good. I haven't given an update on these since I repotted them, but they've got some nice size to them. They're thickening up, looking pretty good. Something that I thought was worth mentioning, because a lot of you are here because you like the cold hardy plants, right? And that's kind of how I started everything, and then I deviated wildly, but I still talk about it from time to time. This is going to be one of those times. I have 2 different oleanders here. Ow. Just did this right on top of that yucca there. So right here, this brown one, this is just a regular Nerium. It's just pink from, I don't remember where, from a local nursery. It's the same people who grow them out for like Walmart, Lowe's. It's just a pink oleander. Maybe it was called Calypso. I don't know. Calypso's a really common one. You can see it, right? Doesn't look too hot. And the coldest temperature that I believe this one has gone through was maybe like 17 degrees. It did take a good amount of snow. I think we may have had one brief load of 14, but I don't know. I can't remember, but between 14 and 17. And this is what it looks like, and some snow. Over here, harder to see. It's past the spiky plant, but I can pull it up here so you can get a better look at it. Look at this oleander. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right? These things, they're not the same. This is a pink one, pinkish red, called Awesome Pretty Limits. Or is it City Limits? I think it's called Pretty Limits. It's from Proven Winners. I've had this one for a few years now. I got it as a teeny tiny little, like just little starter sprig kind of a thing. And it has grown up to be about, I don't know, 4 feet tall in the container. And it experienced the same cold, same snow, same ice, all the same conditions. It's only about 5 feet away from this one. And it's pretty much untouched by that cold weather. So I think that's pretty cool and pretty exciting. If you're in like 7A, 7B, might be worth giving a try. Oleanders, typically, I've grown them back in the day when this was zone 6, or even 5B. They'll die down to the ground in the winter and come back, but usually you get like a couple, maybe 3 long stems like this that are, I don't know, a couple feet tall. And they'll flower and everything. It's just not something you would plant if you want a shrub. But 7A, 7B, those awesome pretty limits might be worth trying. The cooler you are, the more days you're going to have, I'd say below 15. More of a sheltered location you'll want, but this is seeming pretty promising for cold hardiness. Whereas the Calypso, it's just, well, it's doing what I would expect an Oleander to do. It's looking pretty terrible. Should be okay though, just needs to be pruned way back and it'll resprout and flush back out, all that stuff. Whereas the pretty limits, I don't really need to do anything to it. I may go ahead and prune it back anyways though, because it's kind of leggy. As far as the rest of the plants go, Pindu's in here. I guess you can't really get the best look at things right now though, so I don't know if there's a point in going over things. I decided to move the variegated bamboo into the garage. I was going to put it in the house, but I decided I want it over here in the garage because when you're within a few feet of the door, you see where it seals down right about there, right in this zone, temperatures are a lot cooler because there's a draft. This isn't the best seal on the bottom there. And I want the plants that are supposed to be the most cold hardy to be near that draft. So I have the Poncirus. Oh, you guys didn't even know about this. I got a new flying dragon. I had one years ago. We'll talk more about it another time. I can't plant it out yet because it's January. It'd be smart to wait on that until it's warmer out. But yeah, everything else. What else? I put the Gardenia Diamond Spire in the house. Lil Wags windmill palm is in the house. And I held back on a couple windmill palms that are just kind of scraggly and just ones I'm not all that attached to. They don't have the best growth habit to them. And I'm going to stick those in the greenhouse. I don't have high expectations for them, but I just figured we will see. Greenhouse, you know what I mean? The cold frame. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to get this door put down and let things warm back up in there. And hopefully tomorrow morning they will warm up enough to give them a water too, because they're also pretty dry. Yeah, I don't even know why I moved the recurvifolias in. Look at this. That's a recurvifolia. Been right there for like 15 years. And it's been fine. It did die back to the ground 1 year, or not quite to the ground, close to the ground. That's why it has multiple heads and it's not trunking as well. Oh yeah, that's why I moved the banks. I want them to continue their trunking. And once the crown dies off, they branch out from the sides and then you just don't have quite the same looking plant. You don't have that nice monopodial growth anymore. But I could have probably just put the recurvifolias in the cold frame too. Oh well. He wants to go out so bad. I'm sorry, Turbo. It's just not a good idea. Look at you. Y'all wet. It's freezing cold out there. Gardenia. Way too close. Inside. Been doing great, by the way. I figured this would do better being moved into the house and then back outside later next week as opposed to going to the grow space where it's going to be a lot warmer. I don't know. Sometimes I overthink things. It probably didn't matter. Lil Wags. Not looking too hot. Got a lot of weird growth coming out of this one. I probably should have moved in sooner, but oh well, here we are. Think it'll be okay. I'm telling you, dude, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. You just had a bath, and I know what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and you're going to roll around in the mud because I got you all clean. Now you want to get the stank back on you. There's the look in his eyes like I've just betrayed him because I'm going outside without him. It's okay. You'll dry. Whew. It's dark now, so there's not much to see, but plants are in here. Unzip this. Maybe, as long as it's not frozen. Hopefully it's not frozen because I need to put something in here to provide some heat. Yeah, shrubbery, windmill palm that I've just never been all that crazy about. It has a weird growth habit to it. What's this? Copper top viburnum, the yucca, gloriosa, which probably doesn't need to be in here, but I figured, hey, why not? A bunch of little carex and, just the stuff that can probably handle the cold, but, well, maybe can handle the cold. Time will tell. So to get the bags out, the frost bags that is, out of the attic for the windmill palms. Going to do that in the morning. Got the light. The lights have drifted downward. They were wrapped very evenly at one point on that laurel hedge, but hey, they're still there. Those are C9 lights. They put out a lot of heat. I think that should do the trick for the laurels. I'm going to get the bags down just in case to cover them up. Ton of mulch on top of the hedychiums, like 6 bags. That should be enough. And then, well, you're not really going to be able to see it because it's dark out, but, oh, well, we'll talk about it. Anyways, I pulled the foliage together on the sable palms, sable minors, dumped trash cans on top of them, and then mulched very, very heavily around them. Sorry it's so dark. Can I turn the light on? Oh, that helps a little bit. Yeah, so you get the point. There's a lot of mulch there on each one of these, so I think that'll do the trick. If I need to, I could wrap heat cables around them or something. I don't really think I need to, but if I do need to, I have the option. Because I have heat cables somewhere. This needle palm, I've never protected it. It's always been fine, so it's got to do its thing. It'll be okay. And if not, that's all right too, because it was a really dumb place to plant it. Someday that's going to be stabbing people when they walk by. Ugh, feels good to sit under the heater, which I turned off because it's way too loud for the camera. But you know what I mean. Warming up. It feels good. Sorry this isn't a longer video, but you know, there's just a lot of stuff to be done. All stuff that really needed to be done. Needed to finish that mulching a long time ago, so glad that that's done and over with. And I guess I didn't need to cover up the sable palms unless it's going to get cold. Everything else I did were things that just need to be done if it were going to get cold, and it's getting cold, so now it's done and I feel good about it. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about having the mule palms and the windmill palm moved inside. As much as I enjoy having them outside, I'm not out there that much this time of year, so it's pretty unnecessary. You saw those mule palms. I'm pointing this way because they're on the other side of the hanging plants over there. They're not looking too hot. I think that they're going to be much, I don't know if they'll be happier in here, but their odds of surviving are better in here. They'd be happier, right? Odds of surviving being higher, that would make me happy. They're probably happier. Now can focus on the grow space, which I'm looking forward to doing next week. So actually, it's going to be a perfect time for it too. It's supposed to be frigid outside, snow and ice and everything. I've got the scaffolding, took it out of the box, it's all set up so I can start moving plants around and getting the shelves arranged more appropriately. I have lots of things that need to be repotted. I don't know if I'll be getting to that next week, but I should, but I doubt I will. These Pharaoh's masks, they're really liking life inside Pharaoh's Dream colocaceas. They're loving it in here. Is it bothering anybody that there's leaves in the water? I should probably prune those out. I just haven't felt like it. We can do that since I'm sitting right here and it's gonna be bugging me. I'm probably bugging some of y'all at the same time. Get those pulled out. Should I may as well, right? May as well just cut all the ones out that are hanging down into the water. All, what is that, 3 of them? Because, you know, that's just gonna end up rotting and it's pushing up a new leaf. So, get these out of there. Are those spider mites or water droplets? Those are, I don't know what those are. They're not spider mites. I think it's just hard water stains on the plant. It doesn't look like spider mites to me. Yeah, so now that these have gotten to this point in their growth, I think they're going to become more sturdy. When I popped these into this little island planter floaty thingy, they were just like, I don't know, this big. They're real scraggly, didn't look too high because I just yanked them from the landscaping. And now they're starting to put up more firm growth. They've rooted out, which is something I can tell from the fact there's a little baby. See the little baby? That means that the roots are spreading, rhizomes are spreading. This should fill out very nicely. By the time spring comes around, I'll have a whole bunch to plop around the garden. So that's exciting. The Dracaena's not looking as good, but that's okay. I just stuck that in there to see what happened. Actually, it does look like the new growth is coming out pretty nice. So the old stuff, it's using up whatever is in there and probably putting out some roots down in there. I'm going to give that more time before I pull it up and pot it up. Right now, I'm just going to let it hang out in there. Hopefully, in like, I don't know, a month or so, these will start to put on some of that variegation that makes me love these so much. I don't know, it might be a little bit longer since, well, yeah, it's artificial lighting, right? It's artificial lighting. I don't know how much they're going to do as far as color goes. I don't think there's really any more plant updates to give. Nothing all that different from last week. Got a new leaf opening up here on this Borneo giant. That's fun. Doesn't need it though, because I'm trying to not let too much growth stay on these. I'm trying to just maintain the pseudostem down below. Ginger's starting to bloom. Smells good out here, mostly from this one back here. Smells so good. Smells fantastic. This thing, that's on the list of repots. It's bulging out of its container down there. And yeah, everything else is just par for the course. Well, I had to scoot the tie. I was going to say let's check out the new tie leaf, but I think I may have messed it up. Oh, it looks okay. I had to scoot it forward because there wasn't enough room to get the palms in here. And when I did that, this got pushed up against the garage door motor there. It's looking pretty good. Variegation still has a ways to go. You know, it takes these guys a couple weeks to come to their full color. But yeah, everything's, you know, looking looking good considering it's January, right? Looks like there's gonna be some nice blooms in the hibiscus. That's exciting. It's gonna make for a happy iguana and a happy tortoise tomorrow. Oh, hello. How are you doing? That thing's really thickened up. Look at that. Getting some nice size to it. Very slow. This inflorescence on this guy coming out very, very, very slowly. Another one over there, it's moving even more slow. Is this? Yeah, it's pretty dry. I have to water these things a lot. I'm wondering if I should bump them up into a mix that has some more moisture retention to it. This seems like that would be a smart thing to do in the spring or early summer when it's warm outside instead of in the grow space. I got them going in the grow space last year. These were new. They've been shipped bare root. They didn't even have much on them as far as roots go. And they took a while to get going. These, who are the Tehepelotes? It's a weird name. I don't think I'm saying it right, but it's a type of Chimaduria. They've been great otherwise. Got lots of spots up here on the Montgomery palms. That's what these are? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Montgomery palms. But I think that that's probably just going to be the way it is because when I water, it sprays and the water settles on there. There's air circulation, but I think it's pond water. It's settling on the fronds and they're browning up. I don't know. I don't really know what to do about it. I'm okay with it. My main thing is just to keep them growing and keep them free of spider mites. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. What's the weather doing for y'all? Are you in the blast zone? It's looking like probably going to have multiples of these blasts come through the month of January. That's why I wanted to get all that mulching done and make sure that the lights were working on the hedge out there. I will probably end up bringing down the protection for that hedge just because I don't really know how cold it's going to get. They're saying 2 degrees on, I think, Tuesday night, but who knows if that's true. 2 degrees is so close to being the level where everything would just die. So I think the smart thing to do would be to go ahead and bag them up because those were expensive. And if they die, then I don't have any privacy. And y'all have probably experienced my obsession with the privacy out there when a hedge dies. It just ruins the whole growing season for everybody. If I'm miserable, y'all will be too. No, not really, but you get what I'm saying. I want to keep them alive. So probably going to wrap those up in the morning, which is when this video comes out. That's why it's a little bit shorter. You're not going to see everything because I gotta edit it. So I'm gonna go. Hope everybody's doing well, having a great day, a great life, and everything's just going absolutely beautifully for you. Comment down below, say hi. Like I said, hope you're staying safe from the weather. You get in the weather. I'm looking forward to the snow, not so much the ice. Hopefully we get more snow than ice, but I'm like right on the edge of where they're saying heavy snow or ice. Probably gonna be a blend. All right, as always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye bye.